Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about my current thoughts on the next-gen systems that are coming out. So, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Now, we've seen, I don't know, fair amounts of what the consoles and things look like now, but overall, my current feelings on both these consoles is I'm interested. Not really much more than that, but I am interested. And I'm curious to see what happens when both these systems come out. I'm curious to see on price and things like that. Now, so far, I think let's talk about the most pointless thing first. Let's talk about the look of these consoles. So far, I think the Xbox looks better. I know it's not going to fit under anyone's in any place, but honestly, I think it looks sleek. I think it looks better. I'm very curious about that design. And the insides of that are going to be interesting and all that, how that runs. PS5, it looks alright. It just looks a bit like a Wi-Fi modem, but I'm sure, it'll probably look alright when it's under set up in someone's living room. But right now, controllers I'm kind of curious about. Like I've never really liked the PlayStation controller, but I would like to use this DualSense one and see how what that's like. Obviously, the same with the Microsoft one. We're at a point now where I feel like controllers are pretty good. Not often we get a system with a bad controller. There's usually maybe one or two niggles with them, but other than that, they're usually pretty good. So that's obviously ideal. Right now, in terms of games, there's nothing really on the Xbox that interests me. And to be fair, we are going to be getting a Microsoft first-party showcase in July, I believe it is. So I'll probably do a video on that after that's come out and give some updated thoughts on this and where I stand with it. Now I should probably clarify before I carry on though, I'm probably not going to buy over these consoles at launch. I'm a big Nintendo person and I have a PC. There has to be some big exclusives on these systems for me to do that. Now I will say in the PS5 event we did see Sackboy getting his own game in like a 3D adventure, which I love Little Big Planet. And I know this is more just an adventure game, so I'm totally down for it. Like Sackboy, great character, fun games, awesome. So I'm sold. Also, Ratchet and Clank looked really, really good. I like those kind of games. I'm much more into platformers and adventure games that are kind of cartoony. I don't really care for the realistic stuff. I do play things like that, but Sackboy and Ratchet and Clank are the games for me. I'm like, yeah, that would be fun to play on a PS5. Does that mean I'm going to buy a PS5 at launch? No, because the big thing right now is the price of these consoles, and we know that they're going to be about 400 quid over here in the UK. Easily, if not more. And I think that is just too much for me. That's an extreme price that I am not willing to pay for a console. 300 quid is my limit, and that's what I basically paid for the Nintendo Switch. I am not paying anything over that, really. Unless it comes with a lot of stuff. But yeah, £400 is what I think both these consoles are going to be. £400 over here and £350 potentially in this country. I don't know what it would be like in America. People are saying $500, which has me worried if that is the case, because that means that'll be about more like £450 over here, roughly. So yeah, not sure on the price. Definitely think the price is going to sting massively. I'm hoping that one of these companies is willing to take a bit of a cut, because we know that they're all going to either come out at the same price or they're going to undercut each other, or at least try to undercut each other. So we shall see. But I mean, it's going to come down to the games, obviously, and like I said, we've seen stuff on the PlayStation side, and there's a lot of things. They also showed off a new trailer for Oddworld Soulstorm, which I will more likely get on a PC anyway when it comes out. That's a game that I'm very excited for. But right now, I think I'm very curious. I'm very curious as to how well these systems are going to do. I think Microsoft needs to pull out all the stops. I'm going to be honest, I'm more interested in the Microsoft console, simply because we know Sony's leading in the market right now. We know that they've just shown off a bunch of games that people are interested in. But I think Microsoft, they bought all these studios for a reason. They've got to bring some A game. They're going to have to be like, hey, now is the time to basically pull out all the stops, and when this next event rolls around, what are you going to show off? We know we're going to get Halo there. What else is going to get shown off? We're going to get a bunch of new IPs? That could be cool, potentially, if people do it. Are they going to focus on, I don't know, are they going to focus on primarily games this time, or are they going to focus on things the system can do? We don't know yet. I think if they make a new Banjo-Kazooie, and I think also make some of these old series get sequels that they own, and also maybe do remakes as well as new stuff, I think they're going to be looking good. I think right now, Sony looks like they've got the better games. The third-party sort of stuff they got shown off for the Xbox Series X was alright. Like, I saw bits of it, I didn't watch all of it, but like nothing really stood out to me. But their first-party stuff, potentially we could see some big names. I mean, people are saying things like Fable and Banjo, and I'm trying to think what else Microsoft owns. You know, Gears, Halo, Forza. We know that some kind of car game's going to turn up there, I guess. But they could bring out all the stops for this next showing. This is the ball's in their court in terms of, hey, this is why you should buy our console. Here's the exclusives. You know, and you know, if you want to get a part of the market as well, hey, Killer Instinct 2, maybe. I mean, I'm down. Killer Instinct is a great game. It's on PC now, but like, hey, like, let's get some of that Killer Instinct action on here. Like, make a big selection of games to bring over people, because the more back and forth you have between these companies, the closer it's going to be when these consoles drop. We want competition. We know Nintendo are like always are doing their own thing. They're all about playing games on the portable experience. Hey, you want to play a bunch of games on portable? You can do that. Here's, you know, a new Mario, here's a new Zelda, here's all their stuff. They're not even thinking as much about, you know, obviously they want a share of that market, and we're seeing Nintendo do stupidly well at the moment in terms of game sales. But when these next gen consoles launch, people are going to be all over this stuff. So the closer these consoles are, the more interesting it's going to be to see that. Like, are people going to jump all over that Xbox because, hey, look, you know, they've got all these exclusives and maybe it's a little bit cheaper, or, you know, maybe it's a bit more powerful. But being powerful never really won any generations. It is an exclusive thing. It's going to be, what exclusive do you have on launch day or within the launch window within, like, you know, what's the first 6 months looking like? The first 6 months of Sony being like, oh, we've got Spider-Man, and then maybe we've got like another big game. Say Horizon is like March next year, and maybe they have something for February, and maybe they have something for January. That's a pretty strong lineup that people are going to be like, yeah, I'm buying a PlayStation for that. If Microsoft say, well, we've got Halo at launch, so actually a November title. Maybe you got something in December like Killer Instinct, and then January and then March you have another big title, maybe, I don't know, Gears, or maybe Forza or something. I don't know. Like, if they space out like Nintendo did with the first year of the Switch, they could have both of these launch lineups could be flipping awesome. And the thing is, you don't want loads of games at launch. I think a lot of indie stuff there, a lot of smaller stuff is always good. But like in terms of first-party titles, 1 or 2, maybe 3 games, and then start spacing your games out month by month. Like, it's much better that way, because then you go, oh cool, yeah, big first-party title every month is like the dream. You know, I think a month is a nice time to do it. I think we're going to see, it's an interesting time. Interesting time with everything that's going on in the world. These consoles are going to be expensive. These are going to be powerful machines. And we're soon, hopefully in July, going to find out what Microsoft's bringing, and hopefully their A-game. And then we can have proper discussions about, actually, if I was going to buy one of these systems, which one am I going to buy? Now, I'm really, really genuinely curious. And I know a lot of this stuff's probably going to come to PC, a lot of the third-party stuff, a lot of the indie stuff. Probably even Switch as well. But if all these next-gen games and both these consoles have super good exclusives, I mean, if they could win me over, then I would potentially buy one. And I think that's the important thing. It's like, how many people are they going to win over with these? I think a lot of people are very happy with the games being shown off at the PS5 event. So now is the time to, or for Microsoft to basically say, hey, yeah, those games were good, but we can do better. Like, bring over some Japanese games, you know, like some of the studios over there that may be making games, and get more, try and get into that market, which they're clearly trying to do. You bought all these studios for a reason, so hey, let's see what you can do. You know, I'm very, very excited, and I'm very curious. On top of this, obviously, I'm still going to be following Nintendo stuff, but like, yes, I am super interested and curious about what Microsoft are going to bring, and then after July, we're going to know where we're at, and I'm going to be able to say, hey, I think this is the person that's currently, or this is the console that's currently doing the best, or has the best games to show off at launch. And then after that, we'll find out about price, and we'll do, you know, it's just going to be an interesting time these next 6 months, for sure. Anyway, guys, that's just me spouting about my own thoughts about next gen. Nothing too concrete, just kind of waiting and seeing, and just, you know, playing that game in the moment like everybody else. But if you like this video, obviously hit like. If you want to see more content like this, and especially me talking about next gen systems, then hit subscribe. Facebook and Twitter links down below if you want to go and get involved in those communities. And until next video, I will see you then.